drinks, our beers, our burgers.
Yeah, what's goody, man? We fucking live. Right here, me and Marie's 566 on the Donk Avenue. You already know.
Yeah,
we got
man.
Marvelous in the building.
Marvelous.
Marvelous in the building.
You know how
with the
we.
kid.
You know how we coming,
You know what
man.
I'm saying?
You know how we coming.
We got Aunt Acid in the
Aunt
fucking
Acid
building.
in the building.
Aunt Acid in the building.
AA.
Yeah, man, we live. Yeah, so y'all know, man. Me and Marie's come through 566 on the Donk Avenue, man. Next week, fire Halloween party, man. But yo, season
Big T.
finale.
Season finale, hot D, hot diggity. You know what I'm saying? Hot D, hot diggity. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Hot D, hot dizzy.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all know what time it is, man. Yo, that shit was fire. Crazy, you know. Let's break it down.
Shit was
you know
lit.
what I'm saying? Yeah, they started.
Season finale.
Yeah, they started real early with Raina's coming up on
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra. No, the aunt coming up on Rhaenyra.
Raina. Yeah.
Rhaenys.
Yeah, get a little confusing. Gets
Her
a little
too.
confusing. Too many
Her
R's.
too. And Acid, thank you. But she came through to prepare them, to let them know, like, you know, they came through and they usurped your throne. They've already named Aegon the king.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? They've done it in front of the masses. You know what I'm saying? So now your whole airness is in question. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
it's becoming a problem where it's like, you know, you already knew it was gonna be a problem by her being a female trying to come into this male throne. You know what I'm saying? But now it comes into the point where it looks like, oh, you know, they want the smoke. They want
All
the
the
smoke.
smoke.
You know what I'm saying? And
Literally, too.
Yeah, and then so in this episode, you see kind of how like Rhaenyra's perspective comes. Plus, you see that she's pregnant. She gives birth to a stillborn. It was a stillbirth, like the baby was born, passed away. You
Which
know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
which I think too was because she got the news of, you know, them committing treason on Aegon being the king. I think that also kind of might have rushed the delivery, because as soon as she got the news, she you know, she grips her stomach and goes,
Word.
you know, and
Word.
I think that's where it kind of went downhill with the whole pregnancy.
Yeah, facts. So we could see it how the perspective of Rhaenyra is starting to play out in this season finale. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's like, well, you know, you got all the dragons and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could pop off at any time. Like, it don't got to be nothing too crazy, you know? But, you know, she's showing that resilience that, like, no, this is not what my father would have wanted to do.
She don't want to be the queen of ash and bones.
Yeah, that's what she said. So, you know, it looks like she's trying to take it as in this perspective of the right thought process that you would want from a queen.
Yeah.
But I feel like the line has already been drawn with what happened last week, what they already claiming Aegon and whatnot. And then you have Otto come through. He comes to like try to make the offer of like, yo, you could bend the knee, and it doesn't seem like he wants to bend. She definitely doesn't want to bend the knee.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
way.
Like she rode up, she came through on her dragon. It was like, nah, son, I'm not doing this. You know, it is what it is. You know,
She could have bodied them too, and she kind of just chose the path of being.
Like, yeah, you know, you came as messengers. We're gonna respect that.
Respect
you know?
the messenger. Yeah.
Yeah, and even though we don't see that at the end, but you know, she's like, no, you go back and you let her know that we not bending no knee, and that's what it is and whatnot. So now now she starts to begin the footwork in terms of who's her real allies and whatnot. There's the first time we hear Starks mentioned in the North,
And Baratheons.
and Baratheon was in the beginning of the show, but Baratheon's come back again right now, and also who was the other one? It was Baratheon, Stark, and
It was another house. I don't remember.
Tully, House Tully. That's so
Riverland. Right?
Yeah, Riverrun.
There you go.
Yeah, so I think Tully. I think that's from Samwell.
Yeah.
Samwell.
Yeah, Samwell Tarly's fam.
Well, Mrs. Acid rocking with us on the check-in.
Okay.
Let's get it. They trying to get their allies in line, but so instead of sending ravens, she tries to send the dragons. That's
Which
what
her
we
sons,
see.
which her sons are the ones that
suggest that because they are dragon riders and whatnot. And
dragons fly quicker than ravens.
Than the ravens, that's what they say in the show. So she's like, yeah, it's a good idea, but you know, don't come there on no beef. Come there on some like, we want to know where you lie at. If you choose not to be with us, that's fine. But you already know, then that means you on the other side of the war when it hits the fan. You know what I'm saying? But
they messed up.
Yeah, they messed up. So
she messed up.
Yeah, she messed up by using her sons to do it, and then the younger son, he comes through and he goes straight to the Baratheons. And
when he gets there, he sees
Aemon already there.
No, he sees his dragon first.
Well, he sees the dragon first, Rhaegar. Yeah,
he sees Rhaegar 1st in the courtyard, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
That's
but
OD big.
He figured since he's the messenger, he's still valid to go inside and talk that shit. You know what I'm saying? Not really knowing that problems was gonna happen after.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't really know what's gonna happen with it after the fact. But he goes there, he lets him know. Baratheon is like, wow, you're not even offering me anything. You're just talking about reminding myself of some loyalty and some oath and some shit.
And you pretty much, you better or else.
Yeah, you know what I'm
pretty
saying?
much.
So,
and Aegon came over there with propositions. Hey,
Aemon.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he came over there with
like a marriage proposal.
Proposal.
All types of things,
Facts.
So that kind of set the boundary of where the offer was gonna be and probably where he's gonna go. You know what I'm saying?
That scary motherfucker's still single.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
But the Baratheon dude kept it official because he was kind of like, yo, no blood over here.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be trying to do no grimy shit. He came over here as a messenger, like chill. So Aemon, right? Aemon. Aemon goes and follows Rhaenyra's son, and I think he was just trying to scare him a little bit. Right. I don't think he was really on some I'm gonna kill this kid. I think he was trying to scare him, and the Aemon's dragon was smaller, so he was a little bit quicker, so he was kind of able to evade Rhaegar, and what ends up happening is
he thinks he get away. He hits him with some fire real quick to try to get away. And then all of a sudden, it's like he was in a crazy storm. And he's like, he flew above the whole storm in the clouds. And all he sees is his son. So he thinks he's out. He thinks he's good.
He thinks he's safe.
He didn't want his dragon to spit fire, though. The fucking dragon.
Oh, no, he didn't want his...
No, he didn't. Yeah, no.
Yeah, because he was telling him to serve me. Yep. Kept saying that.
So
yeah. I didn't catch that, but now that you say it,
yeah.
Neither of them wanted to clap.
Yeah, they didn't want to clap back, but it's dragons, and if you remember in Game of Thrones, they always said like, at the end of the day, they're dragons, so they're gonna listen to you up until a certain extent.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they might do Jacaris, but you mess with them enough, they got a mind of their own. They're gonna do what they want.
They're gonna pop off.
And I think we clearly saw that in this last episode.
Facts.
Where the dragons were like, fuck what the writers are saying. He's messing with me. You know what I mean? So, I thought that was cool how, they were on their dragon shit.
Yeah, nah. I mean, it was fire, but even when he came up, like he like ate him. He like bit him in half type shit. One bite, like done.
And that was the thing
like,
too.
That was the whole dragon almost gone, bro.
That was
the kid.
That was the thing too, is that Rhaegar is the biggest dragon. So it literally took one bite and chopped the kid's whole dragon in half.
And now that's one less dragon that they have. You know what I'm saying? When you heard Daemon popping off and awakening his dragon out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
They only have that one dragon, but that dragon is the biggest part.
Yeah.
No, they got 4, they said. It was 13 to their 4.
13 to 4, but now it's 12.
But now it's 12.
Yeah, because Homeboy just got.
But they got the biggest dragon.
Yeah,
they got the biggest and the oldest dragon. So, as you can see, it's somewhat to their advantage having.
It's somewhat to their advantage, but I think even Aemon himself, he already knew, like, damn, like, I wasn't able to control this dragon. I should have probably just fell back, but now it's too late. I've already now just killed the queen's son. If it wasn't going to be a war before, or maybe something like that, now it's a definite war. Now there's no chance in terms of like bending the knee or getting anybody to do that. You know what I'm saying? You just killed her son.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, now
he's got to own it now.
It's pop off. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
And he's got to own it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you went over there to try to scare the kid. You went over there to try to scare him, and what ended up happening was, you ended up killing him and his dragon. So now he's got to own it. He can't say, oh, yo, I just went over there to mess with him. You know, like you shouldn't have been following him in the first place.
Yeah.
He went over there on some messenger shit, and he clearly stated that. You know, so it's about to get popping, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good way to kind of end it. I kind of was hoping for a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? A little more of a pop-off. Like, no, like I wanted, like...
die.
No, somebody died. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunate that I had to be pretty much the youngest, you know, person in the cast. Yeah, the little youngin. You know?
Yeah, but I'm rooting for Rhaenyra. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I think she's been robbed of her
title,
of her birthright. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I already understand that shit is gonna hit the fan.
But let's talk about Daemon though.
Daemon, he kept it gully like the whole time.
Daemon is like, I'm trying to shed blood.
Like, yo, I'm ready, son. Like he was straight, like ready at all times. Yeah, he's like 1,000% on 1,000 with the shit. Always like pop off city. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that
I want to do this.
Well, you know it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be the one that's gonna be fighting Aemon at some point. You know what I'm saying? I think Aemon might even be able to get the other kid. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that little kid that he did get, that was the one that took his eye. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, that pop-off definitely is going to be the beginning of the war, and we're going to see what's going to happen from it. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a good first season. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely her response to this is definitely going to be pop-off. You know? So we're going to see what's going to happen. The next season, I could definitely picture it as going to be all-out war.
Yeah, heavy bloodshed.
Yeah, hell yeah, which I'm all for. You know, I was, like I said, this last episode, I was kind of anticipating a little bit more of a pop-off in terms of like you know, like just something like a war being started or like people on the front line or some shit, like lines is already drawn and shit like that. I think that's already happening, but I just felt like, you know, the anticipation of it probably could have had a little more of like just people dying and shit like that. You know, that's what you see from Game of Thrones. That's what you kind of anticipate or expect. So you want more of that. That's the gore. That gore is what gets people onto the shit.
Well, also, what I wanted to say too is when Rhaenyra and Daemon are talking war strategies or whatever, you see that Daemon chokes Rhaenyra when Rhaenyra's like, yo, I ain't trying to be the queen of blood and bones. I'm trying to, you know, you see her going more of her father's route. In a sense of, you know, what to do in this predicament. You know, is it to go all out and send all the dragons, or do we win it more strategically? You know, and Daemon is like, what the fuck you talking about? Like, they just caused treason. You know, like, what are you talking about? And he chokes her. You know, and I think he chokes her to, you know, I feel like also even when he gave her the crown, you know, you see him kind of like hesitant on giving the crown, and then he chokes her. So I feel like there's going to be some type of, you know, I don't know if that's going to be a
turmoil within the marriage or something.
I feel like he might want to take the crown for himself too. Because he's always wanted the crown.
I mean, he does always want the crown.
And he was the original heir. And then he took it, then, you know, Viserys took it away.
And gave it to his daughter.
But,
I mean, you do have a point with that and whatnot. I just feel like, he just knows the true meaning of battles and wars. The shit that they've not really been through, he's already been through. He was in that homeboy with the crab feeder that we was talking about before. You know, so he already had some battles and whatnot. So he knows more or less what it takes to win, and then he already knows you know, the power of the dragons is what held everybody in check in the realm throughout the whole Targaryen reign. Yeah. You know, so he knows what it takes. He's like, you don't want to do the bloodshed, and I understand that, but right about now, they took your whole spot. They took your whole spot. So what are you going to do about it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't do anything, then you hold no weight. Your claim to no throne or nothing, it will never be fulfilled or backed by anybody. Yep. You know? So you're going to have to make a choice and a decision. And I think, as we seen at the end of the season 10 with the death of her son at the hands of Aemon, I think the hand is already forced now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And with the hand being forced,
Warzone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're gonna. We're gonna see what we're gonna see what these dragons is about. Because I anticipate a lot of dragon battles this next season.
Mm-hmm. Well, this whole story is, the pretty much the anticipation towards the dance of the dragons. And now we could see why, right? Because there's so many dragons. We went from having 3 in Game of Thrones to having
it's like almost 20 right
almost 20. And then there's eggs still incubating.
For more, you never know.
So the ill thing about Daemon too is that he knew the count of all the dragons across the land. He knew which ones were basically taken, which ones weren't, which ones are incubating. What the age. He knew everything about the info on the dragons. So now we see why this whole story is called the Dance of the Dragons, because it's so many of them too.
Facts.
So.
Nah, you're right. You're right. So, we gonna see, man. But yeah, man, we appreciate everybody that fucked with us on the live. You already know.
Hot diggity.